you hear me, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I like it, actually. I'm going to ask you very simple questions, actually. I'm going to take you through a few slides. Very simple. Some of these profound lessons I learned personally as a leader. I had the opportunity to start managing team as early as when I was 22 years old. This is my third venture, actually. I've started a couple of companies, managed large team, actually. 10 years in between my career, there's something hit me, actually, that resonated so well with me. There was a coach who told me, because I used to hire people, I used to look for, the skills of best people and say, let's just hire them. Then I realized they're not performing optimally, actually, not delivering, actually. I'm going to ask you a question with just show of your hand, actually. How many of you left your home today thinking you're going to fail? Only the cameraman raised his hand, actually. Okay. Do you think your employees do the same thing? They leave their home thinking that they're going to fail, and they're going to fail you, actually. See, Nasser pointed out, and a lot of people talked about, is you need to hire great people. Whether it was Walt Disney, whether it was, what my friend Mustafa highlighted, whether what Dr. Velumani talked about is you need to have a story, actually, so that people connect with you, actually. I'm going to share 4 things with you, actually, simply how and what is it you need to do to make and build a great team, actually. This is my personal learning. This is what I've experienced over a period of time, actually. I'm going to quickly take you through who we are, actually, and I know my partner will do an equal good job, actually. I talked about the challenge lies ahead in India, actually. We are a London-based company. We have put together a very simple thing, actually. We want to democratize access to world-leading advice. First, for those who seek it most. We want to ensure that it's a platform that's available to anybody, anytime, anywhere across the globe, actually. Okay, for those people who seek it most, actually. The other thing we realized is that Mustafa highlighted, you need to take decisions. Good or bad doesn't matter, actually. To take decisions, you need to have experience. You need to have a bit of external perspective, actually. What we realize is that collect all that external perspective and put them into key decision matrix, actually, that allows you to do 5 things, actually. Build your competence, capability, confidence, clarity, and communication. That's what we do. You open any of the drawer, those things are available to you, actually. So let me just talk about one simple thing, actually. How many of you, now you can raise your hand, actually, how many of you find it difficult to retain great people? Only 10% of them. Should I stop it now, actually? Because all of you have figured it out. So, let me just take you through a couple of things, actually. So, I'm going to pick up what Nasser highlighted, actually. Drive, actually. Okay? He actually highlighted, are you asking your employees, actually, if you're driving X car, are you going to be driving the next level X car, actually? Not everyone is driven by that. Actually, I'm not driven by that, actually. But I'm driven by something, actually, okay? I want you to understand what drives your employees, actually, okay? I'll give you one simple thing. I spent an hour with Mustafa traveling from Bangalore to Coimbatore. At the end of it, I can promise that if I was a 20-year-old kid and I was looking for a job, I would have joined you, Mustafa, actually, for one simple reason. I loved your vision. He said, I just want to do 2 things, actually. I want to ensure that I build a product that's very natural. There are no preservative and added things, because he had a bit of problem, and he says, somebody from DuPont offered that we can put a stabilizer. He didn't use it, actually. Okay? Creating fresh product and giving it to people, it's a tough ask, actually. Stay true to that, actually. That's called value system. That's called drive, actually. Okay? I love that story. That resonates with me, actually. Secondly, he said is that in my product, I want to ensure that if something is bad, ID is bad. If something is good, the housewife gets the credit, actually. And I love that story, actually. I said, wow, how cool is that, actually? Right? How he's trying to make it happen? By making idli, actually. It's as simple as that. But the vision is so important, actually. I want you to do me a favor, actually, okay? When you go back to your office, understand from your direct report just one thing. Ask them what drives them, actually. Once you understand them, I can give you in writing. I learned it hard way. Nobody comes to your office to make you look good, to make your company become better. I am here because something I care for. I'm sure people come to office because something they care for. And that's very personal for them, actually. They are willing to give 100% for that, actually. But I can give you in writing, they're not giving 100% to make you look good, actually, or make your company look good. Focus on those things, actually. Once you know that, then you know how to create an environment to make them successful, actually. That's called drive, actually. Number 2 is expectation, actually. Let me ask you one thing, actually. Again, raise your hand. A lot of people said that, we are not getting enough out of our employees, actually. How many of you have expectation letters in your office? 1? 2? Aftab, thanks a lot, man. You work with me only. Okay, 2 people, actually. If your employees doesn't know what you expect out of them, what do you think they're delivering to you, actually? Okay? Do me a favor. When you go to the office, create an expectation letter, actually. I'm going to highlight what Forbes says, actually. The reason people leave because they don't get vision. They're not able to connect with your big picture, actually. Mustafa, that's the reason I connected with you, not because you make idli, actually. Okay? There is a bit of empathy. I loved it when you said, housewife gets the credit, actually. Put it in your brand. I can tell you, it'll make a lot of difference, actually. Right? Motivation. If I have to find a job, I'll again look for something like ThyroCare because I know it cares for people, actually. It wants to give value back. I love the story which Dr. Velumani said is that my daughter asked me, what are you giving back? I reduced the price to 1. I loved it. I connect with that, actually. Right? People connect with those things. People connect with you. They want to work for you. Okay. Finally, future. How do you motivate them, actually? Are you having a bit of fun? I really loved it when we started making. I couldn't understand what was being said, but I knew that we were making a dog, actually, so try to do that. That was a bit of fun, actually. We enjoyed it, actually. We were refreshed. We wanted to, come here. Are you creating an environment that's a bit of fun in the office, actually? Or you're just hammering people, come on, work hard. These are the things you need to do, actually. I want to give you a very simple thing, actually. These are some of the key ingredients of expectation letter. Those of you who want expectation letter, I put together one. There are a lot of organizations using it. Drop me an email. I'll be very happy to give you an expectation letter. Otherwise, create your one. Actually, ensure that you have a mission, vision, guiding principle. What do you care for? Right? Ensure that you hire people who understand what you care for, actually. Otherwise, they're not going to relate to you, actually. Recognize success. I'll give you an example of how do you recognize success. A lot of people, you come here, give them trophy and award that. I can tell you it doesn't matter. It never mattered to me. My house is full of recognition across the globe because of the leadership, actually. But I'll give you one simple personal example. There is a lady who used to work with me, actually. Won a lot of trophies. We hired her, actually. Her recognition was she wanted to make her parents proud, actually. When she did well, I wrote a small letter, handwritten letter, and sent it to her dad, actually. Till today, it's there in their drawing room, nicely framed, actually. That's called a simple bit of recognition. Take care of these, actually. Understand what in recognition name people are looking for. I always say that when you create expectation letter, ensure that you're not measuring people on results, actually, because you will only get to know results after 1 quarter, 6 months, and 1 year, actually. Measure them on activities. When people do higher activities, in all likelihood, they're going to be successful, actually. But if you measure them on result, you're going to look at lagging indicators, actually. You're never going to know why you failed, actually. If you want to look at leading indicators, look for them every week, actually. Yeah? Let me just talk about how do you measure it, actually. Before I do that, I want to ask you, how many of you have a scheduled monthly review and plan meeting with your direct report, and it's there in the calendar with the agenda? Show of hand. Good. 30% of you, I look like, actually. So rest of the 70% of you, just quickly go through it, actually. Ensure that when you go back home today, put together a review and plan meeting in calendar, diarized, actually. And ensure that you prepare for that. Because they're going to prepare, they're going to put 3-4 hours of theirs. They're going to spend 1.5 hours with you, actually. You're taking 4.5 hours of quality time of theirs, actually. Ensure that you do your preparation so that it's a meeting where people are inspired, they learn from you, and they are giving their best, actually. It's not the time to hammer them, actually. Prepare, put it in their calendar. Build rapport. We all are human beings. We like connecting with people. I'm connecting with so many people. They come and tell me the personal stories, actually. People go through a lot of things. I have kids. Their weekend has been bad. My daughter was studying. Her exams were not good. Somebody got injured. Connect with them. What's working with them? Don't look at them as a machine, actually. Look at them as a human being, actually. Understand what's working in that. When you build a repo, you're opening up, actually. Review by design means is that you're going to hammer them, actually. Please don't do that, actually. Review commitments to activities, not measurement towards results, actually. Put together a plan. Ensure that it's a mutually agreed plan with actions for both the sides. You're going to do that. Do a quick follow, summarize it, send it over the email that this is what we have agreed, actually. Block another 10, 15 minutes, 15 days from now, and ensure that you are following up on those plans, actually. You do that, I promise you, they'll start delivering to you, actually. Finally, hiring. All of us talked about we are struggling with hiring. I struggled with it, actually. And somebody told me, if you go to a same pond, try to take the same fish out of it, and there are many fishermen out there, most likely there'll be no fish left in the pond, actually, and all of us are struggling with that, actually. I learned that 10 years back, actually, and I started hiring something on traits, actually. All of you said that I wish I would have built a great team, actually. Great teams are not built on skills. Great teams are built on traits, actually. What drives them? What do they care for? What's their vision? What they're trying to achieve, actually. Skills are easy to build. I can teach you how to communicate. I can teach you how to write a program. I can teach you how to run a machine, actually. That's a trainable thing. I can't give you hunger. Here are some of the things I look for when I hire people. Those of you who want questions, how to uncover these things. This was the number one thing when a couple of entrepreneurs were interviewed. They said the number one thing they look for people hiring is passion, but they didn't know how to ask the questions. There are 5 questions I put it together. Ask me, I'll send you an email, actually. Look for commitment to purpose and value system. You don't want people making shortcut. Everyone out there successful has said, there is a hard way to success. You need to work hard. Are you hiring those people who are going to stay true to that, actually? Finally, ask how do they handle disappointment. Who doesn't have disappointment? I have 10 in a day. What do? Do I blame you or do I blame myself? When I start blaming others, I'm a victim. When you hire victims, they're never going to allow you to grow, actually. Finally, ask them what's their short-term goal, actually. Because they're not coming, I can promise you again, they're not coming here to make you look good. They're coming to office for only one thing. What is in it for them, actually? Ask them what their short-term goal is, or are you providing that environment for them to grow in that short-term goal, actually? I'm going to just end here. I know there are no times for question and answer. I'm going to be floating around. Please feel free to ask, actually. But I hope you learn from that. Those of you who want expectation letter and access to those questions, how to hire on traits, please drop me an email. I'll be happy to hire, actually. Let me hand it over to the next speaker, actually. Thank you very much.